this mixed identity concept is something that people still need to learn about, so that they can say, oh, like, you're mixed, what are you mixed with, you know? And I think that's a much, like, more educated question than saying, like, you must be this one thing. You know, it's great being from these both amazing cultures, however, sometimes it's hard when people aren't used to that.
Like, in my reality, I don't think it's that important, the whole idea of, like, all these ethnic, like, everybody's mixed to me, like, but I've noticed that it is important because a lot of these ethnicities and mixes don't get seen, so people need something to relate to. So I think it's important that we have people identify as, hey, I'm Black, I'm Asian, I'm this, like, I'm all of these things. Just for, like, the young people who don't really get to see people who look like themselves in advertisements and things that they ingest constantly. So I think it's really important.
If a designer, right, is trying to make diversity a huge part of their show, oftentimes they might have, like, a certain image of what that needs to be, and sometimes as a mixed individual you don't necessarily fit in that category. It's like one agent told me, like, oh, well, now, like, Milan is warming up to, like, ethnically ambiguous girls. And I was like
and they totally weren't before. Now all of a sudden it's like,
so it's just like it's interesting, and it's, you know, it's interesting to kind of, like, you have to just, like, go with the flow in many ways, because some things are out of your control. Like, you can't convince someone that, like, hey, like, you could totally use me and your product would sell really well. People are willing to use sometimes more, like, Black models than the mixed model.
Yes, absolutely.
And so it's like
complexion too.
It's like,
they would rather get someone who's, like, blue black as opposed to getting someone that's, like, brown skin tone. It's like, we're all still Black though.
Or, yeah.
That is
but
actually...
I actually heard somebody say that they hire the darker skinned girls because it makes the clothes look more expensive.
Oh, well, that's... It's like, I'm like, that's the good and bad, like, a good and it's like good. And,
I'm like, but it's like...
But, like,
so
what does that mean in the big picture?
I'm like,
I think in the modeling world, there are, like, only two boxes for Black or multi-ethnic, Black-looking models. It's either you are dark-skinned, Black, African-looking, or you're, like, the multi-ethnic one, but you just kind of get casted as the curly-looking mixed girl. So it's, like, that's all you really have to work around. There's not really an identity of, like, hey, I'm this, that, and the other. It's just more so you're that curly-headed, light-skinned girl.
Got it.
So there's that.
I mean, I love being mixed, and I love that now we're seeing, like, in America, even, like, on the census, like, now there is a category called other, and I think that's just an amazing progress. What I would love to see more in the fashion industry is just visibility, and I guess platforms where people are able to kind of self-identify. And I think the more times people see that, like, oh, this person self-identifies as mixed, I think the more normal it'll become.